France has been Islamophobic for a number of years, across the board in all aspects of its country, whether it's in businesses, whether it's in shops, whether it's in government or any other areas. Um, Now we're seeing it in football clubs, being Islamophobic towards football players and openly without hiding it. And what message does that give to potential other players that might have wanted to move to France? And I believe this happened 2 years ago as well, but now we're getting even more news. It shows you how long this has been going on for. French football club Olympique Lyon believes footballer Houssem Aouar is radicalized because he grew a beard and went to Makkāh. Some members of the French football club Lyon believes Muslim footballer Houssem Aouar has become radicalized because he has grown a beard and went to Makkāh for pilgrimage, according to French investigative journalist Romain Molina. Firstly, beard is part of other religions as well. So why don't you treat them the same way like that? Why is it only Muslims? And I'm not saying to attack other people of other religions. I know how it feels as a Muslim for Muslims to be attacked for having a beard. So I'm not saying to do the same for other people. But I am saying that you're doing it to Muslims, but you're not doing it to anyone else. Not just Muslims grow beards. And why does it only a facial hair on your face? Why does that scare you so much? What's that going to do? Why don't you be a bit more open and say that many terrorists, that you feel many terrorists also have beards, so you feel this person having a beard, they're going towards a certain path and they could also become a terrorist, even though that makes absolutely no sense. Why don't you openly say that, and then we can understand why you're afraid of just someone having a hair on their face. Secondly, someone go to Makkah for pilgrimage. You've seen the French football team, not even the one that won the World Cup recently, 2018, I think. But for generations, it's been full of Muslim players. And now you want to be Islamophobic towards Muslims. And then even many players in the French league are Muslims. If every single Muslim player that is representing and is able to represent France decides that they're not going to play for France anymore, your team would not win and have as good results as it does. And you have the audacity to be Islamophobic to Muslim players. And one thing that I want to finish this on is France is gonna host the 2024 Olympics, and you can see the double standards because many countries are now saying that they're gonna boycott the Olympics in France if France allows Russia to compete or something like that. But it took you all this time only when Russia is allowed to compete that you're going to boycott it. But you weren't going to boycott it because France's hostile policies on the hijab. But then at the same time, there are Muslim Olympians who are going to compete in the Olympics who wear the hijab. So you're allowing a country that has such hostility towards the hijab to host hijab wearing Olympians. That country shouldn't even be hosting any sort of sporting event, never mind the Olympics. But you can see the double standards from all those countries that are going to boycott it because Russia's competing, but they weren't going to boycott it because of the hostility towards the hijab. Hopefully, we've seen, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but I've saw reports that say that the younger brother of Kylian Mbappe, I think Ethan, he wants to represent Algeria. And hopefully the up-and-coming generation that are eligible to represent France, they all choose not to. And particularly the ones that are wanted by France and have opportunities to represent other countries, they represent those other countries. because of what the French government and even other people are doing in terms of the hostility towards Muslims. And we know it's not all French people and it's not France as a whole, but at this moment in time, the government and influential people are doing this to Muslims. So without the Muslim players, I don't think you would have won the World Cup. I don't think you would have got to the stage to even win the World Cup. And then that's just talking about the recent one. The other um, achievements in the French national team, as well as French teams in the league. Without the Muslim players, where would you be? I'm not saying it's only Muslim players that like your success is only because of Muslim players. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you've got to recognize that Muslim players have done a lot for French national team as well as French football in the league, and you acknowledge them and pay them back by being Islamophobic to Muslim players, whether they're French or not. This is absolutely unacceptable, and I hope. I can't even remember the club's name, but it's not worth remembering the club's name anyway. But I hope the club that is responsible gets the most harshest punishments. But knowing France, they'll probably get a reward or something like that. But hopefully, French Muslim players stop going to the French league, and those who are eligible to represent France stop representing France, and other people that aren't Muslims but are French, they see this and they understand what's happening, and they also speak. This sort of behavior is unacceptable, whether you're Muslim or you're not Muslim. It needs to stop. But happening in France, you can't rely on the French government to do anything. So it's down to other people to do things to reiterate that this sort of stuff is unacceptable, and until you to hurt them in such a way that whether it's money, whether it's players not going, whether it's fans not going or whatever, until they feel it in losing money, they won't listen. So we need to have French players not representing France that are eligible, that are Muslims, and as well as French players not going to French league, or even non-French players going to French leagues that are Muslims, not going, and things like this. And up-and-coming young Muslim French players, if they have the opportunity, represent other countries besides France. And until the Islamophobia goes, then this should be happening continually until we have proper reforms and sanctions for clubs like this.